The Biden administration reportedly considering overhauling immigration and customs enforcement in a way that would terminate the jobs of thousands of Border Patrol officers and also opening a Trump-era detention center for migrant families. So joining us now to discuss that is we're going to bring back in our panel. We have Bobby Eberle and Jennifer Nasser. We thank you for sticking around with us. First, let's talk about that, Jennifer. This obviously something that got very criticized during the Trump administration. But first, let's talk about the ramifications of the Biden administration actually dismantling ICE. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think we're starting to now put illegal immigrants above those needs of American citizens. People are coming here to America every single day legally. They're not skirting the system. They're looking for a better life for them and their families. Then there are people who are coming here illegally that are trying to gain some benefit off of the American taxpayers' backs. I think that that is something that we really need to be concerned about.
Bobby?
Well, you know, Biden's policies, I mean, as soon as on day one, he's gone in the wrong direction. Stopping border wall construction, stopping deportation. The word has gotten out. When you see the surge, what's going on at the border, there have been 19,000 asylum applications already this year, 2021, 19,000, because the word has gotten out that they can come in. And so what has it led to? It's led to the return of catch and release. The ICE is overwhelmed right now. They can't handle it. And Joe Biden wants to do more. Now he's opening up facilities of which Trump was criticized, kids in cages. Now they're migrant facilities for children. Give me a break. It's the same thing. But the reason it's happening is because of the surge at the border, because of these policies that basically are open borders. They don't respect our security, and it's going to lead to more problems.
I think that's what's so confusing for people, too, Bobby. As you mentioned, the Biden administration switching things up almost immediately when it comes to the Trump administration's immigration plans. However, now there are a lot of those questions surrounding President Biden's decision to, as you mentioned, to open that Trump-era detention center for immigrant families, which we remember the headlines, kids in cages. This was fought with protests, with controversy. Jennifer, how is it that we're able to just change the name, say it's something different, when essentially we're seeing that it's almost the exact same thing?
Well, because it's the Democratic administration. So now the rules have changed. So now it's okay because liberals are so much kinder and so much gentler and so much more empathetic. And so clearly they're not trying to hurt anyone and pull families apart and do anything that those mean, cruel Republicans would do. I mean, that's exactly what it is. They just changed the name and they changed the faces, but they didn't change anything else.
I want to bring in James Carafano now with the Heritage organization. James, we know that your Heritage immigration team, you along with others, released a statement Tuesday recommending that the administration abandon any such plans. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, we should be clear on particularly on the children issue, that this was really an Obama problem. Because of something called the Flores Law, there was this loophole that really limited the detention of children, and it really incentivized human traffickers, smugglers, the cartels, sending kids across the border independently, breaking up families. And this problem mushroomed. And the Trump administration essentially eliminated that problem by addressing the Flores rule and by tightening border security and by sending the word that we weren't incentivizing illegal immigration. And the numbers of kids that were coming across without parents dropped. As a matter of fact, the border crossing dropped precipitously. So now that we've seen this incredible increase in just a few weeks, it's directly attributable to the Biden policies. So rather than focusing on the cages and whatever, we should focus on what created the problem. And it's essentially by a whole bunch of measures, not just border security, but immigration enforcement, executive orders. Essentially, the Biden team has set out the word is we are not going to enforce border security, and we are not going to stop illegal immigration. I mean, that is literally advertisement for the cartels to send at the border. Under Obama, they said, look, you have a crisis at the border if 1,000 people a day are trying to cross. In the first 2 weeks under Biden, crossings were probably about 5,000 illegal people a day. And in contrast that with the Trump administration, where at the end of the administration, they were actually sending more people back than were crossing every day.
And if you guys remember, which I'm sure you do, during the Trump administration, it was constantly brought up of who's using the cages, but who built the cages? And you brought that up, of course, James, with the Obama administration. And so we know that this emergency facility was only used for a month in the summer of 2019. It's now being reactivated to hold 700 children ages 13 to 17. Let's take a listen real fast to see what the Biden administration says its plans are to reopen those temporary detention centers for migrant children in Texas.
Kamala Harris said that this facility, putting people in this facility, was a human rights abuse committed by the United States government. And Joe Biden said, under Trump, there have been horrifying scenes of at the border of kids being kept in cages. Now it's not under Trump; it's under Biden.
This is not kids being kept in cages. This is kids. This is a facility that was opened that's going to follow the same standards as other HHS facilities. It is not a replication. Certainly not. That is never our intention of replicating the immigration policies of the past administration.
Bobby, I know we talked about this just a moment ago. We only have a little bit of time left, but a quick reaction now that we've all heard from the White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki on what her response was. What's yours?
Well, personally, every time Jen Psaki speaks, I crack up because she can't answer the questions. It's a direct contradiction. The media is being so hypocritical in how they cover this. One, for Joe Biden, it's great. For President Trump, it's a humane, barbaric treatment of kids. It's outrageous, and that's what we get.
Interesting stuff. James Carafano, Bobby, Jennifer, thank you so much.
Okay, friends, thanks so much for watching. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you'll be notified. And here's a special video just for you so you can watch even more of the 13-minute news hour. And don't forget to check out GOPUSA.com for the best in conservative news and commentary. We'll see you next time.